Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing, testing. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Testing, testing. A testing, a testing, a testing, a testing. Sorry, that's this. Do, 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 do. Hello, testing, 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 one, two, three. Hello, testing, one, two, three. Okay. Definitely a odd time for me to be streaming over here. Oh god, it's all this stupid stuff over here. Okay, gotta put that over there. Hey, thank you for the sub, President Shinra. President Shinra, nice. Definitely a Final Fantasy VII fan in the house over here. Let's see here. What am I looking for again? I was looking for something. What am I looking for? This, right? Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chenzor Dynasty. Obviously, I know I'm a little late on this one here, but during the EWC Fatal Fury top 8 today, right before Grand Finals, they actually revealed their first Ken trailer that we actually got to see a little bit more of Ken. It was very, very short. Wasn't much to the trailer. However, since then, they've released an even longer trailer on YouTube on their official channel. And I have not had a chance to see this yet. So I wanted to take a look at this live and kind of, you know, do a little react to it and do a little deep dive analysis. So what we're going to do, actually, we're just going to watch it straight up the first time. And then I will go through and do a little bit slow motion analysis on this, slower motion analysis on this so that, you know, I can actually see how they treated Ken in this game. It's going to be very interesting, very, very interesting here. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So what I can do is this. Yeah, there we go. So here it is. Here's the trailer, ready to go. So, yeah, let's watch this. Let's watch this and go through the first time. Let's do this.
Oh, so Ken, fire still burns, I hope.
Dude, he's way beardier.
You bet. Extra hot, just like we said. Whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Okay. Ah, there we go. There's the Jinrai. Oh, God. What the hell was that?
Look, I got my own problems. No disrespect, but you don't got a chance.
Yeah, it does look like Ryu's stage. Ah, classic costume.
Fatal Fury. City of the Wolves.
Interesting. So, I mean, summer 2025. I mean, the thing about this is that we know.
Lucia Chen, Lucia Chen, Lucia Chen, Lucia.
Thank you for the sub, Nutacon. Appreciate it. 80 months in a row, dude. That's ridiculous. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And the crazy thing about this is that even when they first announced this, I was like, you know what? I think Ken would be so much more of an interesting character than Ryu would be in terms of fitting in with the mechanics. And what's really interesting is that apparently they're just turning him into Street Fighter 6 Ken, right? I mean, he looks like he's completely based off of Street Fighter 6 Ken because he's got the Jinrai, he's got the Dragon Lash, etc., etc. Like, we'll go through this a little bit slower here in just a second, but yeah, it just feels like the moves that he has would lend itself better to Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves' system mechanics than I think Ryu would be. Like, Ryu, what? Obviously he's got the Hashogeki and the high blade kick, but like, I don't know if those would be as fun for Rev Excel. I mean, I guess the Rev high blade kick would have wall bounced and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like that they have, I think that they have made the right choice with Ken, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mute this and we're actually gonna go and watch this a little bit on slow motion here. Obviously there's not a ton of details here, but yeah, this stage is clearly Ryu's stage, which is really funny to me because it was like, did they actually intend on putting Ryu and they worked on the stage first and then they're like, nah, let's do Ken. And then they were just like, well, we'll just leave Ryu's stage here. Very odd, unless, you know, Capcom just really wants this to be like a supreme, like classic representative stage, because obviously the stage exists in Smash Brothers as well. And I forgot who I was talking to about this, but yeah, no, it was Bones, actually, Solid Bones, on commentary this past weekend, because we were watching a Ken versus Terry match on stream, and we were like, how many games can we watch Ken versus Terry on now, right? And so we're just like, okay, there's like CVS 1, CVS 2, Smash Brothers, Ultimate, you know, Street Fighter 6, and now Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Like, I swear, like, Ken and, like, I expect Desk, and Desk, I mean, if anybody, you know, clips this and sends it to Desk, I expect when Ken comes out on this to have the Ken versus Terry combo video across all games kind of thing. I feel like that's gonna happen here. But yeah, I mean, interesting that they decided to do Ryu stage. I like the snowy vibe of it, but it's funny that they did. But I mean, like, here's a good question. Like, what is Ken's classic stage? Would you just put him on the docks, you know, with the boat? Like, would you just do that? It's just not as iconic as Ryu's stage. So I feel like maybe they just wanted to have a stage that was iconic for Street Fighter. I don't even know if we're gonna get a stage for Chun-Li, actually. That's a good question, because if they did that, I don't know what they would do with that stage either, because Chun-Li doesn't really have an iconic stage either. Maybe just the Street Fighter Alpha 2 stage with everybody in the bicycles in the back with people doing Tai Chi. I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at this here. Let's go. So yeah, cool that they have this little discussion here. And like I said, man, Ken is way more beardier here. Definitely a lot more than just like a little bit of a stubble here. But he looks good. I mean, clearly he's based off of, oh, how funny. I actually just have over here on my stream over here that, let me see, where is it here? I just happen to have Ken open over here. So yeah, I can see very much the same kind of outfit, you know, the same thing on his armband over here. And yeah, just exactly the same costume. So interestingly enough, they just ported him right over from Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has the beard and kind of stubble over here, but thanks to the cel-shaded nature of the graphics, it looks like the City of the Wolves one is definitely a lot more prominent because of the nature of the way that the graphics work in this game. But yeah, he looks really good. He looks really good, and this happens with all the fighting games, right? As they keep working on these games, they get better and better at working within the graphics engine and such. We even saw that through KOF 15, right? We see that in Strive a lot, especially. But yeah, I think this Ken looks really good, actually, very solid. But yeah, same voice actor, if I'm not mistaken. But I love that, that Ken and Terry they kind of have this relationship, like lore-wise. I gotta wonder, though, like, are we just gonna get to a point where they're actually gonna mix the lore? Because just so you guys know, like, them mixing lore like this has existed forever, even since the original Fatal Fury, although not in a way that was sanctioned by the companies or in a friendly way, because I know in an early Street Fighter 2 manga, like, characters show up that are clearly like Terry, Andy, and Joe or something like that, and then they just get beat up and then like by Ken or something, and then he just moves on or something. But like, these franchises have definitely been kind of been mixing for quite some time already, and it's just like, if they decided to mix them officially, like, how would you do that, right? Because obviously, all the stuff is going on. Like, is there actually, because even in World Tour, they don't officially mix them, right? You kind of enter a special mode, and that's where you get to talk to everyone. So just gotta wonder if they ever did decide to try to officially mix the lores together. Like, would it just make sense that, they just never really interacted with Southtown? Or why has M. Bison never tried to scout, Terry or anything like that? I don't know. It would just be fascinating to figure out if they could figure out a way to do something like that. But yeah, now we've got Ken versus Terry possible in both games, in Street Fighter 6 and in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. And again, very similar to his intro, except, dude, he's way saltier in this one. Like, because in Street Fighter 6, like, he's kind of smiley, right? Like, he's kind of smiley. And here, like, Ken just sounds like bitter as all heck right now. Let's see if I can get this back over here. Here we go.
Whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I mean, at first it sounds like, what's interesting is when I first heard that, I was like, whatever. Like, oh God, they're making Ken like super mentally defeated Ken here. But no, he's just saying, whatever, all right, we'll fight. Can't blame me if I kick your ass, basically, kind of a thing. So obviously standing heavy punch into fireball, pretty standard here. That looks like the close medium punch for Ken. Obviously, like I said, now since I have this open, like I said, this wasn't actually intended, but we can actually just check. Like, that's clearly his standing medium punch from the target combo. I don't know if we actually saw the target combo here, but there's standing heavy punch. I don't know if standing heavy punch is going to be just as scary as it is in Street Fighter 6, but there's that standing medium punch into straight up heavy DP. Now, obviously, heavy DP, you're just going to assume is going to be something that you can break, right? Just like every other DP. I'm really curious to see what other moves they're going to allow him to break. Be really interesting to see. But here we see just crouching light kick, standing light kick into Tatsu. And that's the light, that looks like the light Tatsu, but what's interesting about that is that, so here we go, standing light Tatsu hits and he lands. So a lot of this might just be recovery animation, because of course, remember that Ken, why did it not change? Ken, whoops, I don't even think Ken can, oops, there we go, there we go. I don't think Ken can even, yeah, he can't even do that in his own game. He can't do crouching light kick, standing light kick. But in general, if you hit like this, you see how much higher the enemy floats here. And so you can get like juggles off of that, right? So, oops, must be, yeah, medium DP. There we go. So you can get the medium DP juggle off of that. Curious to see if they're going to try to preserve that over here. Whoops, that's the wrong camera. Preserve that here, because if this is just recovery animation that you can skip, looks like you can DP here, but who knows, maybe they don't want to let you do that because that might be too strong, because then maybe you can go into rev DP and then, you know, you could break it or something. Like obviously if you went into light DP here, that would be the end of the combo, but it'll be interesting to see whether they let him do anything there. So crouching heavy punch, and there we go. So that looks like the heavy Jinrai, and there's the follow-up there. So we know he has the Jinrai, but obviously because Fatal Fury has less buttons, I don't know how that's going to work, right? So is he just going to have, this is clearly the heavy kick follow-up on the Jinrai right here. Right there, right? So if we look at this over here, right, so that was crouching punch, and that was definitely looked like the heavy Jinrai starter. It could have been the medium, but oh, that's true. Did it knock down? Did it knock down on the first hit? That's the question right there. So yeah, see, that is the heavy one because it knocked down, right? So we come back over here. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? Did I have the scene changed properly? To see this one. I hope I did. But yeah, if you look at this here, obviously this is not a combo here in this game. But, you know, if I drive rush it, it is. And then, of course, and then the heavy kick follow-up like that. So that's clearly what he's doing over there. But like I said, is he not going to have the overhead follow-up? Is he only going to have the light kick follow-up? Are they going to make it so that light kick does that, heavy kick does the other one, and then maybe forward plus heavy kick does the overhead? Obviously, there's a lot of options. You can do all sorts of cool things with that. So again, there's this. Okay, yeah, so interesting that they showed this combo here with no follow-up, and then they show it again. Oh, that's true. His medium punch could be the proximity normal as well, because obviously they have proximity moves in this game. Thank you. I still think proximity normals are necessary for games like this, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so he does the same combo here, the light one, and then the EX one does connect. So he should be able to break cancel this if his DP behaves like all the other ones, right? Yeah, well, or you can just Rev Excel into the Air Tatsu. And then what is that? Oh, that's his Rev Blow. It's his Rev Blow. So he goes into this because he glows green. So that is actually just a unique move that they never... Yeah, Money Green. This game has 4 buttons. Well, 5 technically. There's the Rev button. And then you should add a bunch of shortcuts to make it easier. But technically, you can play the whole game on 5 buttons. In general, if you want to map a 6 button, I would 100% recommend mapping the heavy kick button on a standard 6 button Street Fighter format into Rev Guard plus heavy kick is what it is. Because then you could use it for breaks and feints, which is really, really nice. So, but yeah, this is interesting. So that's a completely unique move here that doesn't exist for anywhere else. So he's got kind of like a mini air twirly kick, spin kick here. He looks like a spinning top, like Tatsu into, there we go. And then, so there's his target combo into Rev Jinrai, I'm sorry. There's the 3 parts into Rev Fireball, into Rev Ground. Oh no, that's Rev Ground Dragon Lash. That's interesting, the Dragon Lash. I mean, I guess that's how it looked before, right? So, I mean, yeah, so if you do the, interesting. But the Rev Dragon Lash behaves like that one, right? So, except... what's interesting about that is that when it does hit, it acts more like the running Dragon Lash or the OD one. Well, let me see something here. Oops. Ah! Yeah, okay, interesting. like you can see the first hit. Sorry, I'm being super detailed over here. But the first hit of this one, as you can see, his back is kind of facing towards you, right? And then when he goes, like, then he turns around and he sucks you back in, right? But obviously here in Fatal Fury, the first hit is like he's kind of facing you. So it doesn't quite hit in the same way, right? So you can see they made it look a little different. The animation for Dragon Lash is a little different here. So he Rev excelled off of the Rev Fireball into here, as you can see, and he hits you, and it still does the suction. And yeah, that's basically just how the kick looks at the end. If you actually look here. Oops, I didn't get a good frame of that. Here, let's do this. Yeah, not quite the same frame here. Now I'm just being OCD here, sorry. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of similar here, right? So, I mean, it's really hard to tell if you look over here because Kimberly is in the way. But yeah, that's basically the same pose right there, right? You can see the arm is up, the leg is extended kind of straight down. In fact, it almost looks like they just kind of rotoscoped this animation part right over here. They changed the beginning of it, or they just made it look different when it hits. But it looks like they pretty much rotoscoped this because, I mean, it looks exactly the same here, as you can see. Yeah. Looks the exact same pose. So, but yeah, then he just goes into the was that a, oh, did he just do, wait. So he just did ODDP. Wait a second. Is he gonna have super cancels? No, you can't do the regular Dragon Lash here, right? Because he does Rev Jinrai into Rev Fireball into Rev Excel. It has to be the Rev Excel chain, right? It has to be a Rev Excel. So this one is going to be a Rev Dragon Lash here, and he's glowing here. So, oh, I see what you're saying. It's the regular Dragon Lash animation from Ken. The problem with that is, well, not really, because if you actually look at the way Ken looks over here, you know, his back is always kind of launching up there, right? Even if I do the run version, he still hits you with the back, and even if I do the OD version, he clearly starts with his back, right? And then in this game here, like, he does this, and then he pow, OD, Rev Fireball, and see how he does that leap right there? I don't know if Ken actually has that leap. Because if you actually look at the way Ken looks over here, he's always looking like this, right? So he looks like this. See? He literally comes up that way. It's like they mirror imaged the start of his Dragon Lash, basically. So you can, yeah, you can see they kind of like mirror imaged it or something. Oh, there it is. There's the frame right there. Interesting. So they just put the hit on a different frame. So there you go. There's the exact frame. I got the exact frame that move is happening, but none of Ken's in Street Fighter 6 hit on this particular frame. But for City of the Wolves, they actually just moved that first hit over here instead. Interesting. Okay. So they just had that frame there actually hit, because in all the other ones it doesn't hit that way. But yeah, then he does this, and then he does Rev DP into Super Cancel. Now, Fatal Fury so far has been basically, to me, infamous for an inability to cancel into super. All your combos into supers are juggle links off of ground bounces or breaks or etc. etc. But so one of two things is happening here, right? One, they just said, you know what, Ken gets this because he has it in Street Fighter 6. Bam, bam, and then boom. There you go. But what's interesting about that is that it wasn't the obviously the clean hit here too. So I wonder, maybe they have it so if you super cancel into it, you can't get the true animation, or it doesn't hit low enough or something like that. Yeah, right. So he could just have super cancels, and everybody else doesn't, or hear me out. Maybe when Ken drops in Fatal Fury, they add super cancels. Well, oh, I see. So this, right. So this is just his punch super. That's a good point. That's a good point, Air. So this is just his punch super, most likely. And the thing that we see at the end of this is obviously his hidden gear. Thinking too Street Fighter here, trying to like think, oh, well, this is the same super. Yeah, you're right. So this is just the way that this super looks here as his punch super. So that's probably his level 2 punch super. And then obviously we have all these screenshots over here of Ken in the story mode here, most likely. And again, it's interesting because a lot of this posing and artwork over here is very similar to poses that we've seen in Street Fighter 6, right? And then, whoosh. And then they obviously show here, oh, dang, Kevin's talking to him. So that went pretty smoothly, I'd say. Sorry to get you involved in the ruckus. I appreciate your help. It's fine. Don't mention it. Yeah, no, it makes sense, Erroneous. Yeah, punches will be the Shoryurepa, and the so he doesn't have his level 1 from Street Fighter 6. He just has the Shoryurepa, which is his classic super, and then he's just gonna have the Shippuden Raikak from Third Strike as his kick supers. And then, yeah, showing that episodes of Southtown, all these things that you can do. And then here we go. Confirmed on on the website via a screenshot. I'll have to take a look at that really quick. Do you have a link to that, Erroneous? So here we go. So obviously they're showing off the classic costume. And of course they're going to show it fighting against Marco. As being the current, not proprietor, user of Kyokugen karate style over here. I forget, is that, because Ken's level 3 super in Street Fighter 6 doesn't start with the kick. It starts with the punch, right? Yeah, so it starts with the punch. But in this one, he has the kick startup, which looks a lot like the Street Fighter 5 startup, right? Wasn't this how his super started in Street Fighter 5? God, I don't remember now. It's funny how much your brain just forgets these things sometimes, you know? Well, actually, you know what? I can do it over here. If I just do this. Here we go. So let's go back to YouTube. Because I know there's one game where Ken starts his super with a kick like that. Let's see. Street Fighter 5. Here we go. Probably be better to find it in the official guide here. What the? Oh, this is not okay. I don't think that's what I'm looking for here. Oh, he does have a chapter for critical art. Okay. Whoops. Oh, I think it's 4 that I'm thinking of. I think you're right. I think it's 4 that I'm thinking of. Although he does have it here, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. So here he goes. Okay, see, there is that kick right there, but it's not, it's a different kick. Yeah, it looks more like his focus attack. Street Fighter 4. Yeah, so what does his ultra combos look like over here? So yeah, that one is just that, right? And then the other one is, oh, that's right, he does this kicky thing, yeah. So you're right, it is just his focus attack, basically. The USF4, all focus attacks. All right, let's see. Yeah, here we go. So here's Ken's. Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. There you go. It's the focus attack. Okay. I knew it just looks super familiar. Oh, it does have the black smear. Whoa. And you know what the cool thing about it is that it fits, right? It fits the theme of the comic book theme, right? Having the ink like that. So he does a Tatsu here instead of like DP, and then has very similar ending to the, oh, that's the third strike win pose too. So here he does, obviously he does DP you up into the air and then does this. So this part is really similar, right? So yeah, see, kind of landing like that, very, very similar to what we saw in Ken Super, except here in Fatal Fury, he starts by doing a Tatsu instead before he lands that. Yeah, it does look like the EX Tatsu in a way. Yeah, he just Tatsus, but he comes back down, and then pow. Brrrah. Dude, he looks so clean shaven there, dude. Like, it actually looks like he's like, you know, your like uncle that you haven't seen in a while and you've only known him with the beard, and then all of a sudden he shows up without the beard and you're like, what happened? There we go. Yeah, so there you go. That's Ken here in Fatal Fury. Interesting. Really interested to see how he plays, because so far a lot of the characters with DPs in Fatal Fury, you know, have very similar uses out of their DP. So I imagine his light DP is going to be invincible. Heavy one is for anti-air and for juggle combos off of breaks. Interested to see which of his moves, you know, will be the feints. Brings the heat to summer 2025. I mean, he's going to be playable at Evo. Like, I mean, we've seen it many, many times, right? We've seen it many times. My guess would be maybe he goes live like the day after Evo, right? I mean, because that's generally what a lot of companies have done, you know, with their characters at Evo. Like, here's this character, look at this, blah, blah, blah. Now he's available. So who knows? Might be just right after there. I mean, but the other question too is like, if he does come out then, are we going to get significant patch like notes? Are we going to get changes or anything like that? Because, you know, outside of, I mean, spoilers, you know, Dark Angel, you know, we saw a lot of basically the usual suspects at EWC Top 8. So I'd be curious to see if they're going to do like some significant balance changes, maybe even system changes. So yeah, I mean, honestly, Sagat might come out on that exact same day. So yeah. And did they actually officially announce Sagat was coming out after Evo? I don't think they did, right? Dude, I can't wait to see Glasses Joe. Glasses Joe is so cool looking. And Chun-Li, obviously very much in her Street Fighter 6 costume as well. And then early 2026, we're going to get Mr. Big. Again, all these characters are available to you right away because the first season is free. So we've already got Andy here. Yeah, you know, honestly, Erroneous Error, it's really season 2. I know a lot of people are going to be very, very curious about season 2 to see what characters they decide to add because, again, the Fatal Fury cast is pretty large, and there's some characters that like just have like basically never shown up again, right? I mean, obviously, like. You know, I know people who really want Rick Stroud back, you know. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what they announce for season 2. And of course, the nice thing is, because of the way that Steam has kind of implemented that change, we have to know exactly what we're getting for every season pass now, which is actually really kind of neat. So... Stance Chunin's City of the Wolves. Does anyone else have stances? Yeah, Gato has a stance. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chun-Li could do it. Now, the interesting thing is, though, keep in mind that Chun-Li's stance in Street Fighter 6 is not a special move. Gato's stance is a special move, right? It counts as a special move. So it has an OD startup, etc., etc., but Chun-Li in Street Fighter 6, you know, hers is just a unique attack, right? Even if you look at her move list over here, yeah, see, they list it as a unique attack. The Serenity Stream is a unique attack. And the reason why they have this is because that way you can cancel into the stance out of moves, yeah, and she can block, whereas Gato can't. But like standing heavy punch is not cancelable. Like if I did this, you can see clearly Chun-Li glowing red here, but this is not cancelable here. But it can go into stance, right? So that's kind of what they did with Chun-Li over here. So how do you come out of stance easy? Is it just because they always do that thing. How do you come out of stance really fast? I always forget. Oh, do you just input it again? No. Because you always see the players do the fake, right? They always go into the stance, and then they come back up, and then go into like the low instead. Oh. Huh? Huh. Very odd. How do you get out of this stance? Oh, it's just another spin kick. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. Whoa. I input that so fast I came out with the 10 show kicks. There you go. Okay. Anyways, OCD, ADHD happening in my brain over here. But yeah, so I'm be curious to see if they do put her stance in this game, how are they going to treat it, right? My assumption is they're just going to change it into a special move. That's my assumption. It's just going to be a special move, so it'll be just like Gato, because it's also, too, it's going to be super important for Rev Excels, right? Like if it doesn't count as a special move, then you're not going to be able to Rev Excel into it if there's no Rev version of it. So just like Gato, she will probably have a Rev version of her Serenity Stream, and that way she can, you know, combo stuff into it, basically. You really think we get Geese at Evo? Look, if they show Geese at Evo, Error, that will be probably the second time the Evo audience will go nuts for Geese. Because remember, the Geese reveal for Tekken was still probably one of the absolute most wild audience reactions to a reveal at Evo. I was sitting in the audience at the time when he was revealed, and I just like, it was deafening in that arena. So it was really cool. Oh man. But yeah, there you go, Ken. What's interesting is that it seems like that they really did a very like kind of straightforward port. Obviously, he's going to have different things. Can't wait to see what his high dodge attack and his low dodge attack look like. For example, his ground rev blow we haven't seen yet. So, you know, it'll be cool to see how they kind of like take things from. I mean, honestly, like his high dodge attack. I don't know if the article error actually shows pictures of it. But if he has it, like, it should definitely be his universal overhead hop from Street Fighter 3, in my opinion. Like, you gotta do that, right? Like, I feel like you have to do that. So here we go. Veteran Metro City Street Fighter who sets its sights on Southtown, seeking closure for an incident to which he was wrongfully tied. Wow, are they continuing his storyline over here? Because the thing about the World Tour, you play that and it never resolves Ken's storyline. Like, you do the whole thing and Ken's still a bum, you know? Like, are they actually gonna try to, you know, add more to Ken's storyline in Fatal Fury? Which would be kind of crazy. Crosses paths with legendary Wolf himself, and with that, the wheels of fate. The wheels of fate are turning. Rebel 1, action! Date of birth, February 14th. He's literally born on Valentine's Day. So here's some pictures. Command list? Wait, how come I can't see all the cool stuff that you were talking about, Error? Like, where do I see them talk about his level 2? I mean, his kick supers, etc., etc. Something like Mr. Big was behind it. That'd be crazy, honestly, if it was. If they actually made it so that it was Mr. Big. Because it's assumed. I thought it was implied that it was JP, the one that was messing with Ken, right? Wasn't it? Or did they never actually say that? I forget. Search here. Oh God, I'm not signed in here, so it's not gonna give me the right thing. Give me 1 second over here. Let's do this. SNK P official. Shout out to Shinkiru. Yeah, so the character trailer here. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like, it's on Twitter. So it might have just been the, oops. It might have just been the, did I close that tab? I guess I did. Oh no, there it is. Weird, okay. One of the panels here. Oh, like this, right? Yeah. This is definitely the Shippuden Raikak right here. So there you go. So yeah, there it is. Well, there you go. So Ansatsuken, yeah, so Ansatsuken versus Kyokugen. Oh, Ryo Sakazaki. Oh, Ryo has it, huh? Okay. Let's see over here. Oh, these pictures here. Doesn't seem like there's any pictures of the level 2 kick there, unless it's on another tweet of his. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, the problem is I can't see it because the fact that I am, good grief, what is this? Why is this window so messed up over here? Where is my thing? Why is it doing this? I'm gonna have to search him from my, where I'm actually logged in, because if you're not logged into Twitter, you can't see, you can only see the first post. Unfortunately, so here we go. Okay, so I am. Here we go. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So then we have these pictures over here. That looks like close heavy punch, right? That looks very. No, actually, that's his rev blow. Sorry, he's glowing green. He's glowing green. Here we go. And then, what is that? Trying to figure out what that is. Is he punching or no? He's kicking. He's doing an arc kick right here. Interesting. Okay. Oh, is that his DI animation? No. Oh, you're right. You're talking about about this one. Yeah, you're right. It is his drive impact. It's almost exactly his drive impact. If you actually look over here, like it's almost exactly his drive impact. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, basically it's this move right here. So pow, drive impact. So yeah, that makes sense. They just made his rev blow his drive impact. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, I guess that is part of his EX Tatsu, his Rev Tatsu. And then there's Super, or actually that might even just be the regular DP right there. And there's the start of the Shippu right here. It's the start of the Shippu. So was the web page was all those pictures on the web page like clickable, or were they just like or were they like different sources or something like that? Where did it go? Oh, is it this one? No, it wasn't this one. There we go. Oh no. Whatever. I'm ADHDing again. Okay. Here we go. And then yeah, the classic costume, the Street Fighter 6 costume, and then oh cool. Wait, is this Obari art? Is this actually official Obari art of Ken Masters? 'Cause that'd be super sick. If this is like Obari animation of him. Because he did the intro, right? He did the intro for Fatal Fury. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kept getting him to do more stuff. Yeah, it's really hard to tell from this angle, but I wonder. I guess maybe not. Maybe they've been getting other artists. Well, because these pictures are different, right? These are just the stills from like episodes of Southtown and story mode and such. But this literally looks like it's from an animated sequence over here. So maybe he has an animated sequence. I don't know. Anybody can read Japanese can tell me what Ken is talking to Mai about over here. Anybody? Just curious what he's actually saying here. Yeah, more episodes of Southtown stuff. Okay, there you go. No way. Is I really something? Well, thank you. That's better than I was anticipating to get. But yeah, there we go. So, Ken, interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to see how he fits in with all of the different system mechanics and such. But he looks really cool, and it looks like they did a really, really good job, like recreating his Street Fighter 6 personality. But even then, with nice little touches, like making the start of his, of his hidden gear, the focus attack, right? Even putting little things like that in there. It's so funny now too, because like for many people out there who are old school Street Fighter players, Ken's focus attack is really iconic now, right? I mean, again, even in Smash Brothers, Ken and Ryu are just their Street Fighter 4 iterations. They have focus attack, dash cancels, etc., etc. And, you know, for me, who's been, you know, playing Ken forever, you know, focus attack is just, it's just the Street Fighter 4 thing, so. Well, I mean, oh, a down forward D command as his crouching medium kick? That's a really good question. It's a really, really good question. They could make, does anybody in City of the Wolves have it so that they have to, that they have an alternate input for their sweep? I'm trying to think right now. Does anybody have an alternate input, like a down forward heavy kick, that makes them do something else? I mean, some characters have slides. Hokutomaru, for example, has the leaping kick, and he also on heavy kick, and he has the slide on light kick. But nobody, does anybody have like two different like sweep inputs? It might be because maybe they make it so that Ken's crouching medium kick has to be down back, you know, and heavy kick, because it would be really weird if you had to do down forward and heavy kick. It'd be really weird to do that. Like, it feels like it makes more sense to, that down forward heavy kick is associated with the stronger move, you know what I mean? And down back is used more for, so it could just be back and down back is his crouching medium kick, and 3 plus heavy kick would be his sweep. Could be that way, so. No, yeah, Hokutomaru has, down forward heavy kick, which is the one where he leaps up into the air, and then the slide is on down forward light kick. So surely his hand is really in this town. Huh, interesting. Okay, interesting. How much Street Fighter lore are they gonna extend in here? Because it's really odd that Ken's story doesn't really get resolved in World Tour. Did they actually team up with, you know, SNK this whole time, being like, you can actually do the next chapter of Ken's story? Like, I can't imagine they would resolve the whole thing in here. I would imagine they would, you know, hopefully in the future, Street Fighter 6 maybe adds extension to World Tour's story, right? Like a World Tour chapter. And honestly, I wonder if maybe that's, I've never thought about that before, but maybe Street Fighter 6 is actually working on a whole like extension to World Tour, like doubling it up, so that they add like another 2 areas that you can explore heavily and all that stuff like that, and where they can kind of, you know, flesh out more of the storyline. And maybe that's why they're only pumping out 4 characters at a time, and like maybe just 4 costumes. Maybe they're working on like some crazy World Tour. Oh God, no, Countman, like all of us believe that CVS 3 is certainly on the table, and SNK and Capcom have been talking about it, but it's gonna be, but you know what? If you're saying like, maybe they'll wait till CVS 3, and when they release CVS 3, that's the game that's going to somehow, you know, canonize how these 2 franchises exist in the same world officially, and why they haven't interacted a lot before. And, you know, I mean, what's interesting about that, though, they couldn't do that. They can't do that. They actually can't do that. Sorry, Countman. They couldn't do that because Fatal Fury doesn't even exist in the same canon universe as KOF, right? And obviously you're not going to make CVS 3 with only Fatal Fury characters. If they were going to try to canonize it with CVS 3, they would also have to try to canonize how they all relate to Kyo and Yori and all that stuff. And by that point, like, you know, like the power levels in KOF are like are like kind of like stupidly high, you know, like magically, like completely ridiculously strong. Oh, in SVC Chaos, Ken had crouching medium kick on down forward D and as a common input. That would be really weird, because trying to do that in the Fireball would be really awkward, I think. So Not really, because remember, in KOF, Geese is alive. In Fatal Fury, Geese dead. Like, Geese be dead, right? Like, he is dead. Like, even to the point where they didn't even bring him back for this game, right? Like, he is dead. But in KOF, he's alive. So it's more than just ignoring time. Also, Ryo Sakazaki was in KOF 11 as a significantly older person, right? So, wait, was he in 11? I'm sorry, sorry, that's KOF 11. Ryo was in one of the Fatal Fury games. I can't remember which one, Real Bout Special or something like that. But remember, Art of Fighting all takes place in the 60s and 70s, where the King of Fighters tournament originated, right? It was started around that time. So they're a whole generation of characters older than everybody in Fatal Fury. But in KOF, they're all the same ages, right? They're all relatively closer in age. So again, they couldn't turn CVS3 into an official, here's how we merge the franchises between Street Fighter and Fatal Fury, because KOF really kind of muddies that a lot. So they need to put Dan Blanca and Sakura again. Look, I've already said in KOF 15, like, oh, I'm sad. I'm sad because I had such, just for lore purposes, I had such high hopes to have that game just like turn into a dream match over time. Like, you just kept releasing new teams and eventually you're like, whatever. But you know, the fact that a lot of the DLC characters don't even have teams, but like, I would have been so excited to get like the classic teams in that game. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense lore-wise, but screw it. Eventually add Chang and Choi and they're just part of Kim team, you know, and then make Rugal, Vice, and Mature a team, you know, because they've never been a team, if I'm not mistaken. Rugal, Vice, and Mature have never actually been a team, even in any of the Dream matches, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember now, because obviously I would need Olaf here to tell me. But I was looking, I mean, because like, I love that they finally put the Sacred Treasures on the same team in KOF 15. Like, there was just something about that I was so happy about, you know? Wild Ambition, but that was the 3D one, right? So in none of the official 2D KOF games, right, bosses are always their own team, but, you know, screw it, just do it, right? I mean, Geese is on a team, right? Geese is on a team in KOF 15, so with Yamazaki and Billy. So I just feel like it would make a lot of sense, right? Yeah, see, there's other stuff there. Like, according to Olaf, Yamazaki in Fatal Fury has nothing to do with the Hizoku clan, but then in KOF, he's Hizoku, so he's part of that whole crazy Hizoku clan history. Right? Sacred Treasures being on the team, and like, I swear, so like, I'm this kind of guy, like, because it never actually happened with KOF 15, like, I am so tempted, and I should just do this on stream for shits and giggles, to take every character that has shown up in an official KOF title, and maybe I'll throw in the Wild Ambition characters just for fun and such, but I kind of want to just like, all right, let's take all the KOF characters that have existed up to 15 and let's put them into official teams. And I'm not counting any crazy strikers, you know, that just show up and don't end up anywhere else. But, you know, I'm just talking like all the actual official playable characters that have shown up in KOF 15 and in KOF in its history and actually just start grouping them as teams. So I think that would actually be kind of cool. Well, I mean, Krauser in the lore is in KOF, right? Krauser's a KOF character. Wolfgang Krauser, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because he's all involved with Rugal, and he's the one who took Rugal's eye and all that stuff like that, right? If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not getting them mixed up. Oh, no, wait. Was that Genitz? I don't remember. Anyways, oh, Krauser is the Fatal Fury. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Krauser is the Fatal Fury one. I'm getting him confused with Genitz right now, and Mike would kill me for getting them mixed up. So yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, it would be cool if CVS3 could do that kind of like that official lore merging and maybe even wrap up like Ken's storyline or whatever. That would be kind of sick. Again, one, we don't even know if a CVS3 is being made. Obviously, like, it's like nobody on the planet right now thinks that Capcom and SNK haven't been like, CVS3, 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 CVS3. And, you know, they're definitely thinking about it, right? They're definitely thinking about it. So I have no doubt, like, it's on the table. Whether it actually happens, we don't know. But, I mean, CVS3 would be so cool. Because also, the other thing, too, is that CVS3 in particular is also super world bending, because they will also bring in Darkstalkers characters and freaking, you know, Last Blade characters, Samurai Shodown characters. So yeah, everybody from all sorts of different time zones. Because if you do a CVS3 and it's just their core fighting game franchises, it would be kind of disappointing, right? Like, we want some of those crazy outliers in there. So Rose's Street. She had a time traveling ending. Jesus, one of these days I'm just gonna actually boot up Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 6, and just on stream I'm just gonna beat all their arcade modes. So, because I have never actually done that, so I actually don't know where a lot of the characters' stories actually go. It'd be really interesting to do that. So. Yeah, honestly, that would be one of the hardest teams to make, right? Is what do you call it? The military team, right? Would you just do Leona, Clark, and Ralph? Where would Heidern go? Where would Whip go? You know, kind of things like that. So, Now I really want to do this. You know what? I'm gonna suggest it to Olaf that during a synchronized episode, we are just gonna sit down and just try to hash out 3-man teams for every character that's ever been playable in a 2D KOF, and maybe even the 3D KOFs. But we'll keep the 3D KOF characters in their own teams, basically. And I think that would be super cool. So, Kira characters. They can't do that anymore, obviously. So, oh man. Anyways, I was planning just to do a quick little short stream. Didn't expect it to go this long already. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it a night here. But thank you guys for hanging out and tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed me going through that, talking about lore and doing all this cool stuff. Like, this kind of stuff, like, I don't know, I get excited about talking about that kind of thing, you know, and just like it's funny because like for Street Fighter, I've never cared about the lore, because the lore was like whatever. It was like Bison wants Ryu to be power, and you know, he needs a new body, and I was like, and somewhere he killed Nash and Chun-Li's dad, and I'm just like, okay. Street Fighter 6 actually made it so that the lore in Street Fighter actually like is kind of cohesive, which is kind of nice. But I mean, up until then, I was never really much of a lore person. But KOF and Fatal Fury, most SNK properties, I should say, have always been very hardcore on the lore. And in fact, you know, the stereotype is that a lot of SNK fans, like the super mega SNK fans, have never actually played any of the SNK games. You know, like, but I mean, that's kind of how deep the characters and the stories and the lore goes, and the characterizations that people love and such. So yeah, like, you know, those games lend themselves to that, which is why I had that kind of obsession. I mean, I already know, like I've told you guys a million times, I want to make my own Rival Schools game. And part of me wants to make it so that if you played that game, like, you couldn't choose characters from different schools. Like it would have to be like the 3 characters from this school versus the 3 characters, so you couldn't mix and match. But even I know that if I did that, the game would fail on arrival. It would be dead on arrival because people would be like, what the hell? People don't know that when you first originally played Rival Schools, it was like that. You could only pick the characters from one high school. And it was a time release unlock that actually finally let you mix and match characters. I kind of wanted to bring that back because I thought it would be fun, but like I said, I know that would kill the game instantaneously. So again, a lot of people don't even think about it this way too. It's like sometimes you got to make concessions to fans and to the players out there, right? You can't just sit there and just be like, I tried to design a fighting game long time ago. And I told my friend about like some of the character designs that I had, and he was like, no one is going to play your fighting game. I'm like, why? The characters are so deep. And he's just like, they're too confusing. Like, nobody will play this. And I was like, you what? Yeah. And nowadays I'm like, yeah, nobody would play my fighting game. Nobody would play it. Right, KOF 94 did that. Yes, originally, yes, of course. But ever since then, they got rid of that because I just feel like you have to, right? Because if they were still doing that with like 95, 96, it might not have even been as successful as it is now, right? It might not have had the longevity because, again, back in KOF 94, I was fascinated by it. I loved the idea of being forced into 3 different characters. It's a little less important in KOF because they don't directly interact. And my idea was that I was going to turn Rival Schools into a tag game. So balancing the team around the people, other people on your team. Like, for example, if you had Gon, right? Like, he's big, bulky and stuff, but, he doesn't have a projectile. So you balance him by, because his teammate has the projectile, et cetera, by doing a lot of interesting things like that. I think you could design a really cool team as a character, but again, it won't sell, so you just can't really do that. So, oh yeah, all right, have a good night, Air. I'm gonna dip too, but I can't stop talking. But yeah, KOF, like they had that thing where on the like character select screen or somewhere, or like in between, if you hit the start button, you could see if people were happy with each other or not. And if you put Kyo and Iori on the same team, Iori would have the angry face. And so you would come in there, like if you were playing the N-Groove analog, the advanced, like he didn't gain an extra stock or something like that. It was just like, they would, and then if you got stunned, like your teammate could come out and rescue you, or on throw holds, they could come out and rescue you. But if like it was Iori getting grabbed or stunned, like Kyo would never come out and help him. Because they hated each other and stuff like that. You would lose stock if your partner hated you. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Fun times. I mean, it's crazy because, like, honestly, like... And this is one of the toughest parts about fighting games, right? Is that back then we could do goofy things like that. But nowadays, we can't really do that because money is on the line, and like, what if these 3 are my favorite characters, and it sucks that my characters are just gonna kill my own super meter stock and stuff like that, but I miss that kind of thing. I do miss it. No, that was kind of the idea, Strider Zero. The way that I had the game design, I would make it so that if you picked all 3 characters in the same school, there would be a very subtle little benefit, but could be potentially really potent. And if you didn't, then you wouldn't have access to certain mechanics and stuff. So I had it all worked out in my... Trust me, I have thought way too long about this Rival Schools game, and I really want to make it because it's not like it's not like super revolutionary, but like the idea that I have for it is just, I haven't seen any tag fighter do this yet. Tag fighters that exist are coming close, but nobody has gone as far as what I want to do. And I kind of still want to see that kind of fighting game. And we don't have it yet in terms of team fighters. And I haven't talked about what it is because at the same time, I'm like, I don't want people stealing my idea. But at the same time, I'm like, who cares? Because this game is never going to get made. Because there's no way in hell Capcom would ever be like, all right, James, let's hear your rival school's idea. No matter what any of you guys in the chat are thinking, Capcom is never gonna come up to me and be like, tell us your rival school's idea. That's really cool. Let's do it. That's never happening, as much as I would love to dream about it actually happening. One of these days, maybe I will actually just talk about it on stream and describe it and just be like, you know what? Somebody else, you can do this. Have fun. Go. Okay, for real this time, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I do have to be up decently early tomorrow because I will be on the Capcom Esports recap to go over another week of World Warrior events and stuff, so it should be a good time. I'll be there with Ringe. Should be good. Keep an eye on my socials for when I'm actually out there and going live with that. I do plan to stream more often, so again, this is part of it. So one of the things that I do want to do is make sure that I don't feel like I have to stream for like 4 hours, because I streamed so rarely that I felt like I had to stream for 4 hours. But what I'm trying to do now is learn to stream for like maybe, you know, just an hour or two. And just be like, oh yeah, cool, and then leave, and then that way I still have time to work on other projects and take care of personal things that I need to take care of, etc., etc. So today is a start of that. So the stream has been running for just about an hour and 15 minutes, and so yeah, I'm gonna try to get used to doing nice little short streams like this. So again, if you guys want to support me, if you guys want to help keep me afloat and stuff, because God knows I could use the help, subscriptions, donations. I fixed all the donation links that you can get in the chat over here. For now, and if you're on YouTube, you won't see them, unfortunately, because I just have a command for that over here. Here, let me do this here. Let me just paste this and send this only to YouTube. Here we go. So you can just hit up, that PayPal Me link right over there, and that will allow you to donate. The Stream Elements also just goes to PayPal as well. So both links are just basically going to the same place, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. And as you can see, oh wait, shoot, I forgot, I didn't take that off. I thought I did. So I took off the James health goal stat here. I forgot to refresh my overlay. I took that off because I did get enough donations, and so I will be trying to start my James health journey very soon as well. But also, again, you know, even though I got that, I've gotten like 91% of the Jasmine fees covered. I'm still in a very, very bad situation. I know it's not your guys' responsibility, but as a content creator, it is my responsibility to be like, please subscribe, you know, please donate, because that's what we do as content creators. So I'm gonna have to be doing that a lot more often here. So please subscribe, please donate, and please promote the channel. And like I said, I'm gonna try to stream more often, so you guys will be seeing a lot more of me. Really excited to do that. So yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy the content. And yeah, I guess for now then, I will see you guys next time. Just make sure that you guys are excellent to each other. Again, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, women's lives matter, their choice autonomy matters, Palestinian lives matter, you know, just everybody out there is trying to live their goddamn lives, and just, you know, and especially in the FGC, they're just trying to enjoy fighting games, man. They're really just trying to enjoy some fighting games. So, you know, let's be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. Take care. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Hey, before I go, really quick, Zilcho, If you want, like, DM me on Discord. DM me on Discord. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you over there. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye. Peace. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes.
Be excellent to each other. And party on!